Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel Computer Engineering Made Easy, and I am Anindita. In this tutorial we will be learning how to insert nodes in an already created single linked list. If you haven't checked out my tutorial on creating a linked list, please make sure to click the link on the top right corner of your screen. Insertion of nodes in a linked list can be done in 5 different ways. The user may choose to insert a node at the beginning of the linked list, or at the end of the linked list, or at any intermediate position. And by intermediate position, we mean that the user may want to insert a node at the nth position of the linked list, or the user may choose to insert a node after a node having value n in the linked list, or the user may choose to insert a node before a node having value n in the linked list. Now we have already seen how we can insert nodes at the beginning and end of a linked list in the first part of the tutorial. In this particular tutorial, we will concentrate on the insertion at an intermediate position. Now let us take a look how we can insert a new node at the nth position of a linked list. In order to insert a new node at the nth position of a linked list, we have to first check whether the n provided as input by the user is a valid n or not. So if the n is not valid, in that case, the insertion will not be possible. So for that, when head and n is passed as a parameter to the function, we need to first check whether the n is a valid one or not. In order to insert a new element at the nth position of the linked list, we first have to get the value of n, which will be passed as a parameter. Next, we need to check whether the value of n is valid or not. If we have a linked list comprising of only 3 nodes, what are the positions where insertion will be possible? We can insert a node at the first position, second position, third position, and fourth position. So any value of n that is less than 1 or n greater than count of head plus 1 will be invalid. So this if block over here takes care of that. So if n is less than 1 or n is greater than count plus 1, then the value of n is invalid. However, if n is not invalid, that means n lies within the range of 1 to count of head plus 1. So for these conditions, which is the valid condition, we go for this else part, else if and else. Now even if n is valid, there can be 2 things, n equal to 1 or n greater than 1. n equal to 1 means we are trying to insert the new node at the beginning of the linked list. So for that, if n is equal to 1, we simply call the function insert at beginning, because for this particular purpose we already have a function. However, if n is greater than 1, this is where we have to put in some extra lines of code. So in cases where n is greater than 1, first thing that we need to do is we need to set change, which is a local pointer variable, at its appropriate position. Now what is an appropriate position? Say for example, the linked list that we are working on has 3 nodes. Here head points to the first node of the linked list, and we want to insert the new node at the 1 to 3rd position. So that means say n is equals to 3. If we want to insert the new node at this position, we have to somehow set the variable or the pointer change on the previous node, because here we have to create a new node, and this new node has to be linked with this one and this one. So for that, in order to establish the links, we need this change variable or change pointer on the node right before that. So in order to set change over here, how can we do that? Firstly, we have to initialize change is equals to head, and then we have to shift change. So if n is equals to 3, we find that change has to shift only once after the initialization. This means that whatever be the value of n, change has to shift n minus 2 positions in order to reach the desired node. So for that, we use this for loop for I equal to 0, I less than n minus 2, I plus plus. We have already initialized changed to head right at the beginning of the else part, that is before the for loop, and then we run a loop for I equal to 0 to I less than n minus 2, I plus plus. And inside the loop, we execute change equal to change next. This means since n is equals to 3 and 3 minus 2 is going to be 1, we are going to run the loop for I is equals to 0, I less than 1, I plus plus. This means this loop is going to get executed only once, because in the next iteration when I becomes 1, 1 less than 1, this condition is going to be false. So therefore, change equal to change next. That means whatever is then change next, change holds that same value, indicating the shift. So after this shift has been performed, we have change at our desired position. Now let us see how exactly we can insert the new node. So we have 3 nodes and we want to insert the new node here. We already have change pointing to this node and we already have head pointing to the first node. Now, in order to insert a new node, the first thing that we need to do is we need to create a new node. So we call the create node function and we store the address being returned by the function in the pointer temp. So this means temp is pointing to this particular node. Now what we do? We have to establish the link between this node and this node first, and then we have to establish the link between 2 and 3. So 1 and 2 has to be done first, followed by 2 and 3. If the order somehow changes, we may lose the subsequent nodes starting from this particular node. So therefore, this order is somewhat very important. So what do we do? First thing that we have to do is we have to store the address of the node number 1 in the next part of node number 2. So where do we have this address of node number 1? Let us give the addresses. Say this is 300, this is 700, this is 200. If these are the addresses, 700 is stored over here, 200 is stored over here, and null is stored here. Head holds 300 and let the address of this node be 500. This means temp is holding 500. Okay. So what is change holding at this point of time? Change is holding the address 700 because it is pointing to this node. Now what we do? We have to store the address of this node over here. Where from can we get this address? We get this address in change next part. See, in the change next part, 200 is there. So that means change next is going to be the right hand side. And where do we store it? We have to store it in the temp next part. So temp next is equals to change next. That is being taken care of by this statement. This means what? This 200 gets copied over here, indicating that a link is established between these two nodes. So linking 1 and 2 is done. Next we will look forward to link 2 and 3. In order to link 2 and 3, we have to store this address 500 in the next part of change. Who is holding this address 500? Temp is holding this address 500. So temp will come in the right hand side. And where do we intend to store this 500? Over here, that is in the change next part. So change next comes in the left hand side. So change next is equals to temp. That is exactly what we are doing over here. So with this, when this statement, the link between node number 2 and 3 gets established, so this link gets established. Here, instead of 200, we now have 500. Okay. So the insertion is done, and the moment we store 500 here, this link gets broken. So this link no longer exists anymore. So with that, we complete the insertion of a new node at the nth position. Now let us understand how we can insert a new node after a node that has value n. In order to insert a node after a node having value n, we have to check a few conditions. The first condition that may arise is that head is null. If head is null, this means that there are no nodes in the linked list. So if there are no nodes in the linked list, that means a node having value n also does not exist. So therefore, insertion is not possible. In the second case, it may happen that head is not equal to null. That means there are quite a few nodes in the linked list, but somehow there exists no node with the value n in it. So that is going to be our second case. Even in this case, we have to give a proper error message to the user. And the third case happens when head is not equal to null and n exists. So let us see how we can check for each of these conditions. So if head is equal to null, that means the list does not exist. So in the function insert after node val n, here we have passed head as well as n. N is the value of the node after which we want to insert the new node. So we check if head is equal to null, then we simply display list is empty and insertion is not possible, and we return back the head. However, if that is not true, that means either case 2 or case 3 occurs. That means head is not equal to null. So here we first set change on head and then we track down the entire list to figure out whether a node with value n exists or not. If it doesn't exist, that means change becomes equal to null. So in that case, we print that the node doesn't exist. And however, if change arrow data equal to n, we find any node with the value n, that is where we go forward with the insertion process. Now let us understand, if we have a node having value n, how can we insert a node right after that particular node? So in order to do so, let us consider a linked list which has got values like this. We have something like this, and say the value n is present in this particular node. That means we have to insert the new node over here. So if we have to insert the new node over here, we have to somehow set the pointer change at this position. So for that, we have used this while loop over here. Now note that in this while loop, we have got two conditions. The conditions are if change is not equal to null and if change arrow data is not equal to n. The order of these conditions is very important. Why? I'll tell you. Let us consider a list where we don't have the value n. Say this list. Here we don't have the value n in any of the nodes. So head is over here. We set change on the first node of the linked list because by this statement change equal to head, and then we start traversing in the while loop. While change not equal to null, we find change is holding the address 700. So it is definitely not null. And change arrow data is not equal to n. Say we have 6, 5 and 4 and say n is equals to 3. So obviously 6 is not equal to 3. So change equal to change next gets executed. Means change comes over here. Again we check. Is change not equal to null? What is change? Change is now 400, which is the address of this node. So change is not null. And again we check if change arrow data is not equal to n. Change arrow data is 5, which is obviously not equal to 3. So again change equal to change next, change shifts its position. And now change comes on the last node. Again change at this point of time is holding the address 300. So obviously it is not null. So we again check. Is change arrow data not equal to n? Well, condition is true. So again we shift change. Now what happens? What is in the change next position? Null. So change now becomes equal to null. So now when we check is change not equal to null, the condition becomes false and we break out of the loop. And we come to this if condition. Here, when we break out of the loop, two things may happen. Either change has become equal to null, or we have found a node where change arrow data is equal to n. So if change is equal to null, then obviously insertion is not possible. If change arrow data is equal to n, then insertion is possible. So accordingly, we check in this if block if change data is equal to n, which clearly is not the case in this particular case. So in this case, we come to the else block and we display node does not exist. However, for this particular case, let's see the operation once again. So what did we do? We first set change on head. So change was here. Now again we check if change not equal to null, we find change is 700, so not equal to null. Is change arrow data not equal to n? N is over here, so this is not equal to n. So condition is true. So change equal to change next. Change shifts from here to here. Again we check, is change not equal to null? Change is 400, so it is definitely not null. And change arrow data is definitely not equal to n, so change again shifts. Change comes over here. And again we check, is change not equal to null? Change is 200, not null. Change arrow data is not equal to n. See, the condition becomes false because n is present over here. So therefore, we break out of the loop. And now when we check this if condition, is change arrow data equal to n? We find the condition has become true. So then we move on with the next part. So what is the next part? We have change on this particular node. So first thing, in order to do the insertion, what do we need to do? We have to create a node. So temp equal to create node. This means we create a new node. Say the address of this node is 500 and temp is pointing to this particular node. This means temp is holding the address 500 while change is holding the address 200. Okay. Now what we need to do? We need to establish the link between this node and this node first, and then this node and this node. So 1, 2 first, followed by 2, 3. How do we establish the link between 1 and 2? We have to store the address of 1 in the next part of the temp node. Where can we get this address? It is located over here. What is this location called? It is change next. That means change next is going to be in the right hand side because this is the value. And where do we want to store it? The container is temp next. So temp next is equals to change next. This is going to establish the first link. So that's exactly what we have done over here. Temp next is equal to change next. Next, after this, what do we need to do? Once we store 300 over here, this means that there is not null anymore, and a link like this, this means a link like this has been established. This means a link like this has been established. Now what do we need to do? We need to establish the link between 2 and 3. That means we have to store this address in this part. So who is holding the value now? Temp is holding the value. So temp will be in the right hand side. And who is the container? Change next is the container where we want to store this 500. So change next is equal to temp. And that's exactly what we have done over here. This is going to remove this 300 from here. And it is going to store 500 over here, indicating that this link will no longer exist, but a link like this will get established, indicating that we could insert the new node in its appropriate position right after the node having value n. Now let us see the last case, that is insertion of a node before the node having value n. This is the trickiest form of insertion of a node in a linked list. In order to insert a node before a node having value n is the trickiest thing. Here also we have got a few cases. The first case is head is equal to null. If head is equals to null, then obviously there exists no node with the value n before which we have to insert the node. So that means list is empty and we cannot insert. So proper error message should be displayed. The second case is that we find that head is not equal to null and n is present at head. That means head arrow data equal to n. This means that there may be or may not be subsequent nodes, but the first node itself is holding the value n. So if we have to insert a node before this simply means insertion at beginning. So we call the function insert at beginning. That is going to serve our purpose. The third case is that head is not equal to null. That means the linked list exists, but n is not found anywhere. And the fourth case is when head is not equal to null and n is found. For these two cases, to check whether n is not there or whether n is there, we have to traverse the entire linked list. So for the first case, head is equal to null, we have this if clause taking care of it. If head is equal to null, we display list is empty and insertion is not possible. Otherwise, that means for these three cases, 2, 3 and 4, where head is not null, we first check if head arrow data is equal to n, that is case 2. So that is taken care of by this if condition. Here, if we find that head arrow data is equal to n, that means we have to call the function insert at beginning. That is exactly what has been done. Else. Now this else is taking care of conditions 3 and 4. As I said, for either of these two conditions, we have to traverse the list and check whether the node having value n is present or not. And if it is present, then we shall go forward with the insertion procedure. So for that, for traversing the node, we have to set the change variable on the head node. Let us see the working of this particular procedure in details. Now, if we have to insert a new node before a node, we have to check whether the content of the next node is n or not by sitting in the previous node. We have to set change over here, and from here we have to look into the data of the next node to check whether this value is n or not. That is the most trickiest part of this particular function. Because if n is here, we have to insert the new node over here. If we have to insert the new node over here, we have to set change on the node right before that. So therefore, we have to be extra cautious regarding this. Now, we have already checked if head arrow data is equal to n or not. That means when we come to this else part, it is obvious that n, if present, will be present in any of the remaining node, but not in the first node. If this is the head node, n is not over here. If n is present, it will be present in any of these three nodes. So therefore, we first set change on head and we check whether a node in this position exists or not. So for that, we check if change arrow next not equal to null. This condition is responsible for checking like whether we have reached the last node of the list or not. If we reach the last node of the list and we don't find n even then obviously the n does not exist over here. So that is the idea. So let us take two cases where n is not there in the list and where n is there in the list. So for the first case, when n is not there in the list, If we have the list like this, let's the address be 300, so 300 is here. Let this be 500, so 500 is here. Let this be 400, so 400 is here. Let this be 100, so head is holding 100. Let the values be 3, 4, 5 and 6. Let n be equal to 8. So obviously we can see that n is not there. Let's proceed with the working. So first, change is equals to head. So change, we set it over here. We have already checked that this value is not equal to 8 over here. Now we know that this is not n, so we start the checking from this node onwards. For that, what do we do? We first check if the next node exists or not, that is whether this node exists or not. For that, we check change next. We find change next is not equal to null. So we shift change. So change shifts from here to here. Again we check if change is not equal to null or not. Change next is 500. So it is not null. Also change next arrow data. Change arrow next arrow data means the data part of this node. It is not n. So again we shift change. Change comes here. Again we check, is change next not equal to null? Change next is 300. So clearly it is not null. So we now check change arrow next arrow value. Change next is 300 and value is 6. So 6 is not equal to 8. So that is also not true. So we shift change again. So change comes over here. And again we check, is change next not equal to null? We find change next is equal to null. That means we break out of the while loop and we come to this if block. We check, is change arrow next arrow data equal to n? We find that change arrow next is equal to null. So I think it will be better if we write if change next not equal to null. This means when we come out of this particular while loop, there can be two things. Either change next has become equal to null or change next arrow data has become equal to n. If this one becomes true, that means we have found the number. If this one is true, we find that the next node is null. So here when we check if the next change arrow next is not equal to null, we find changes next is equal to null. So that means this if condition becomes false. So we can come to this else part. So node does not exist, which is clearly the picture over here. Now let's take a case where actually n exists. So this is the first node and let's see what are the values over here. So firstly, say n is 8 over here. This is 3, this is 4, this is 7. So we first set change on head by this particular statement. And next we check, is change next not equal to null? Change next is the address of this node. Obviously not null. So condition is true. Is change next data not equal to n? Change next data is 4 and 4 is not equal to n. True. So we enter the loop, change equal to change next. Change comes here. Again we check, is change next not equal to null? Change next is the address of this particular node. So obviously it is not null. And again we check, is change next arrow data not equal to n? We find change next arrow data is equal to 8. So the condition becomes false. So we break out of the loop. Now we check, is change next not equal to null? What is change next? It's the address of this node, which is obviously not equal to null. That means we have found the value of n in the change next arrow data part. So this means what? We have to now proceed with the insertion of the new node and it has to be inserted over here. So what do? We execute temp equal to create node to create a new node. So this is pointed by temp. So the address of this one is 300, this is 500, this is 700. Okay. Now what do? We set temp next equal to change next. What is change next? This is going to hold the address 500, which is the address of this node. So change next. So temp next is equals to change next, means whatever is there in change next part, put it in temp next part. Once we do this, That means a link like this has become established. This one is not null anymore. This link has become established. Now what do we do to do? We set change next is equal to temp. That means whatever is the address of this node, store it over here. This means instead of this 500 over here, we store the 700. And once we do that, automatically this link gets broken and this node now points to this particular node. Therefore, our node gets inserted right before the node having value n, which is in this case 8. So this is how we can insert the node before a node having value n. Now that we have seen how these functions execute, or what are the process of execution of these functions, let us see the output for each and every one of them. Insert after node value n. In this function, I have to pass the position as well as the head. So let the head be this one and I need the position to be passed. The position has to be, the value of the node has to be taken as input from the user. So for that I have this printf and scanf statements who will be responsible for taking the value of n as input from the user. So if I compile and run it, firstly I have to create the linked list. So 10 is the first value, 20 is the second value, 30 is the third value and 40 is the fourth value. So I'm stopping. Right now the content of my list is 10, 20, 30 and 40. I want to insert a node after a specific node in the linked list. After a specific node means after a node having value n. So let's say the value of the node be 20. This means I'm creating a node. Now when I'm inserting after 20, I need to enter the value of the new node. So let the value of the new node be 25. Once I do this, see automatically the new node has been created and it has been inserted right after the node having value 20. Now let us see insert before. Again, if I compile, it will be asking for creating the list. So 10, 20, 30, 40. I have created the 4 nodes. Now I want to insert before a particular node in a linked list. Say I want to insert before 40. So let the value of n be 40. And now I have to enter the value of the new node. So let the value of the new node be 35. So you see 35 has been inserted before the node value 40 inside the linked list. So with that, we come to the end of our today's tutorial. If you like my video, please make sure to hit the like button and please consider subscribing to my channel.